Okay, next we'll see about the uh, AJAX. Okay, AJAX is asynchronous JavaScript and XML. Okay, so we'll be going to combine here XML with uh, JavaScript, as well as it is a asynchronous mode of operation. Okay, so what is this asynchronous mode of operation? We'll see with the figures. Okay. So here we can see that the AJAX is a asynchronous JavaScript with an XML. So whenever that XML is getting executed, okay, JavaScript with the XML, okay, it describes the paradigm of allow the web browser to send messages back to the server without interrupting a flow of what is being shown in the browser. It means to say that it allows, okay, this AJAX allows a web browser to send messages back to the server without interrupting the flow of what being shown in the browser. You can see this particular diagram, you will be going to understand completely about the AJAX. Now here you can see there's a client browser is there, server is there, web services are going to be present here. Okay, web browser interface is going to be there here. JavaScript is included in this. Okay, so now you wanted to have some application is going to be there, and you'll be going to or in the Google, you can say. Okay, so you'll be going to search on data, and you'll be going to get URLs. When you'll be going to click that particular URL, that is action is being made, then it goes to the JavaScript, and there it is getting executed background. But still, you can able to see your browser information you can able to see. Only background that it is going to work, and it goes to the server, and from that server the data is going to be fetched, and it comes back to the JavaScript, and here it is going to be displayed on the screen. Means here it is not disturbed the flow of events or flow of activities which the browser is going to be there. So from the browser, request will be sent, and when you will be going to send the request, it is a background request, it is going to be there, and web server is going to execute those things and come back, and it is going to display. Meanwhile, you can able to operate the existing page also. That is the advantage of AJAX. Okay, this is called as a UML diagram. It is going to be, okay, UML diagram, asynchronous request that it is being made. Also, it can have the timeline diagram. It is going to be, okay, time that it is getting operated over here. Now another example you can consider. Now you can see that here you wanted to, in this simple thing, wanted to change this time. Okay, so when you wanted to change this particular time, server time is there here. So when you will be going to click on this, okay, in the without AJAX, you can able to see the just the operations are going to be holding. Okay, so it goes to the server, and all these things that communication is going to happen, and your browser is waiting state. Then after once it is going to be get executed here, this is a program which is going to execute, then it comes back, and you will be going to see this particular time. Got it? But the same thing, same operations, if you want to use the AJAX, what happens? You can see over here. In this case also, you'll be going to click on this or load this particular page. So you wanted to have change that particular timing. Okay, then you can able to see that asynchronous request is being sent to the server, and this particular operations is being made. Then it will come back to this particular operations. That is, it's going to display over here. Meanwhile, you can able to see these things. You can able to read. You can able to do all the tasks. That is the advantage of your AJAX. That is the advantage of your AJAX. Got it? Clear? So when you'll be going to see that the blank page is going to be there, then it is not AJAX operations or non-AJAX application. And when you'll be going to see that some operations are going to be holding, and at the time you can able to see the data, then you can say that it is a AJAX oriented Here again we'll be going to have the jQuery operations. Okay. So without jQuery, because whenever that any application that we'll be going to develop, okay, jQuery is now mandatory. Okay. So that they'll be going to use jQuery operations. So here to load that particular time, so you'll be going to use one function, that is $time div dot load, okay, current time dot php. Current time, it is going to fetch us from that server, and it is going to be loaded into the system. So you'll be going to use one particular function, that just simple one function that you'll be going to use it. This is already it is existing inside. Okay, so you'll be going to load this particular time with this operations. Okay, get method, another example it is being given again in this. Okay, so it's a voting. You'll be going to vote for the some particular parties and all these things. So that time you'll be going to vote it here. Okay, once you have voted, automatically that it is going to register over there by using the get method and all. Then again, if you go to vote it, so it is possible to vote multiple number of times. You can able to see this, right? So once the request is going to be done finally, so who are all voted, that it will come over here. Okay, so by using the get method, that we will going to use it, means everything is going to be seen onto the status bar. Fine, but here we will be going to use the AJAX, because simultaneously any people that they can able to vote it. So what are the content of this get request? Basically is jQuery get request is going to have URL data is there, success if it is going to be clear, then data text status, as well as jQuery XML HTTP request. Okay, then data type, which data type that you will be going to send. So these things are the get method request is going to be. So individually, if you are going to see that URL is usually it is going to hold the location of that particular request. Data is an optional parameter. You can use the plain text object that you can able to use. Then success means here the data is being called. Okay, it's an optional function again, callback function that executes the responses received. There is the data text status JQ, that is jQuery XML HTTP request. Okay, holding that particular object means here this is an object, the data is being held over here, that it is being data is there and it is going to be used for that. And one more thing is that text status is nothing but whether it is successful or not. So that usually it comes in the beep fashion, so it has been successfully, that data is being stored, so like that. So the jQuery is going to hold that particular object. So go on adding that particular objects, and finally you'll be going to get the results like this. Okay, individually the objects have been used. Data type is that you can able to use again is the optional parameter. So type of data that server is going to be expected, that it is going to be stored. So here it is either 0 or 1 2 3 4 or ABCD. The format it is going to be depends upon the application it is going to be. So this is a get request it is going to be. And XML HTTP request, this object, what it is containing actually, the abort function is there, get response header is there, ready state is there, response XML, okay, or response text is there, set request header name and value format, then status is there, status text is there. It means to say that you are going to press that particular key, and some non-execution that it may happen or stuck, it may stuck some with the key, so the abort function is going to execute for that. Then get response header, a parameter that gets the current value, and you will be going to press that which value that you have been pressed, so that it is going to display. Then ready state means here it is going to be the values sending, responding, and proceeding. Okay, sending, proceeding, response, and complete. All four operations are going to be done in this. Okay, first you'll be going to send, proceed with the things, then response you'll be going to get, and finally you'll be going to complete it. Ready state it means to say that.